right, hello everybody. This is Kirk DeMars with Sports Locker Magazine, One Nation, and SLM Extra. And I'm just going to go ahead and bring the man in right now, Mr. Jay Gill, because you saw his awesome face as we were having that countdown. Hello, Patty. Thanks for joining us tonight. Jay, what's going on?
Oh man, Dad, I'm just super excited and pumped up to be here right now on One Nation. Last Monday, I was not feeling so
I
well
know.
and couldn't seem to keep any food down. It was like a 48-hour bug that I don't know what that was about, but I am pumped up and I'm excited now. I'm over that.
I missed you. Scott Blake missed you. And hey, we've even got Aunt Jacqueline. She's on here. Merry Christmas to you guys. A few days late. Sorry we couldn't be with you guys at Christmas, but it just wasn't happening this year. You did make some rhubarb pie, which I kind of wanted, but my wonderful wife, she made me some rhubarb pie, so I didn't miss out. And I've pretty much eaten the whole thing. Probably not a good thing, but I've pretty much eaten the whole thing.
Hey, that's okay, Dad. It's Christmas, you
That's
know? I was
right.
talking with someone the other day and I was like, I feel like I'm always going to find an excuse. It's New Year's.
It's
It's the third week of January. I should
right.
be able to eat whatever cake I want.
That is
Well,
awesome. Absolutely.
it is February 1st. Why not? Let's
Right.
eat.
Every month, every day.
Every day.
Every day is
We're
special.
alive.
Well, hey, we got a lot we're going to talk about tonight. Man, we
Yeah.
this is the last week of December, the last week of 2021. So, uh,
It is the
I
last
know,
week of 2021.
I know.
Mind blowing. The
Get
year
ready.
went by so fast.
Yeah. And there was some really awesome things that happened in sports. And we just had an update just recently. I'll let you get into that in a little bit. But before we get started, I want to go ahead and quickly do our first sponsor. We're going to go ahead and bring in CNS Business Services, and then we'll get started right into the program.
Need a little extra cash for the holidays? You can put some extra money in your pocket and work wherever you want with flexible scheduling. With Flex Scheduling, you can work a little or a lot. You choose. We're adapting and working with area employees, establishing new, innovative ways to work. Whether you're a student, a retiree, or need some extra spending money this time of year, flexible scheduling at CNS allows you to decide when you work. Call CNS. Your schedule, you're in control.
Say yes to CNS.
CNS Business Services, they are so awesome. We thank them so much for their sponsorship of this program this past year, and they just do a fantastic job for the community. I can never say that enough. If you know somebody that needs a job, contact them at CNS Business Services. They will get you hooked up. All right, let's get right into it. I want to have people make comments tonight, and we've already got it started. I want you to share with us what your favorite moment in sports was for the year 2021. So before we get into that, I'm going to give you time to think about it. You can go ahead and start typing it in. We'll bring it on the program and then we'll discuss that a little bit. But I want to give you what Sports Illustrated says was the top 2021 sports stories. And Jay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Can you do a little drum roll for me, please? Okay, that is good. I
Thank you.
like it. Even with a little trumpet mixed in, that's good. All right. Number 10 was the Chicago Sky winning the WNBA championship in basketball for women. That number 10. Number
Good.
9, number 9. And I don't even really know much about this, but it was an international soccer program or league that they had put together. And I can't even tell you what the name of the league was, but it's no more. The top story was it didn't happen. So just that's the top story.
Okay.
Number 8, Tyson Fury and Devontae Wilder fight 3. And that was a
Yeah.
fight filled with knockdowns, and Tyson Fury came out victorious once again, but that two heavyweights blasting right there.
Oh yeah. Good fight.
The Olympics, Allison Felix winning her 11th medal. 11 medals in the Olympics, and that was over a whole bunch of years. I can't give you the exact number of years, but it was over several Olympics. I think it was 4 Olympics. and 11 Olympic medals. That's pretty amazing. Number 6, college football coaching upheaval. We had some coaches that were like seeming to be like they had their dream job. They left those programs and went somewhere else. Brian Kelly left Notre Dame and went to LSU. And then we had Lincoln Riley of Oklahoma bolted and headed for the sunny coast of California to coach USC. And you were just out there in California, Jay. Can you see why he probably went out there?
It was gorgeous. I will give him that. It was gorgeous. Maybe a little better than Oklahoma.
Yeah, probably. Number 5, Shohei Ohtani of the Los Angeles Angels or Anaheim Angels. I don't know. There's these major league programs. They move back and forth from city to city. Anaheim Angels. He was pitching and designated hitter for this year, and I mean was making history and did a fantastic job. So Shohei Ohtani, and I might not even be pronouncing that right, but make up your own. Number 4, Ronaldo and Messi finding new homes in soccer. 2 very iconic names in professional soccer. They decided to leave their programs and go play elsewhere. Number 3, back to the Olympics. Suni Lee winning gold medal in gymnastics. That was pretty amazing, especially considering she wasn't really the top gymnastics athlete that was going into the Olympics. Of course, we know the different problems that happened with one of the other top team members, but she stepped up and she won a gold medal. Pretty cool. Number 2. I feel like I'm supposed to have a drum roll again. Number 2. Number 2. Thank you. The Milwaukee Bucks win the NBA championship.
The rise of Giannis.
And number one, which was kind of a sour note for me, maybe I think you as well, but also a great accomplishment for a certain Tom Brady. But number 1, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the NFL's championship. They won the Super Bowl. And our Chiefs really stunk it up. So there you have it.
Yeah, that was a sad game for a Chiefs fan. But I'll tell you what, Dad. I think it was probably around 2016 or 2017 that my brother finally convinced me that Tom Brady is probably the best quarterback ever. And because he's been a Tom Brady fan since he was a little kid, which that just shows how long Tom Brady's been in the league. But, it was around that time when he had taken like his 3rd pay cut in a row in order to get other players on the team that I thought, dude, this guy is something else. Like, how can I be mad at this guy? Like, I know his life's like perfect, it would seem like from the outside, but it's like, what is this guy doing? And so I was kind of like, well, I guess I might cheer for Tom Brady. Let's just see how he does. Like, I don't want to be when he left and went to the Buccaneers, I was like total respect move for Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And when he won the Super Bowl, even though it was against the Chiefs, I can't help but just look at this is the greatest quarterback of all time. No one's going to replicate what he's done. He actually has more championships, just a single player. He has more championships than an entire franchise. Yeah. There's not a franchise out there that have, 50 years in the league? They don't even have as many Super Bowl rings as one individual player. Yeah. Blows my mind. You can't make this up. Like,
and makes your younger brother happy. I mean, John, he loves Tom Brady.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, it's just we watched history be made. So it was super hard to be like super sad because the Chiefs are the Chiefs, and we'll get into them a little bit later. But I just major respect for Tom Brady. I agree with that. He was my number 1 pick for story of the year.
Major respect, but man, when he gets angry, he takes it out on little computers, doesn't he? Just flings them to the side and after smash that computer on national television.
He can buy another.
He can, yeah. He probably funds them all. So. All right. Well, hey, why don't you just kick us off on what you want to do next? And again, we had Jacqueline. She said the Chiefs started winning again, and the defense looks amazing. Amen, sister. And that
Oh,
is literally my sister. So amen.
amen, sister. Amen. Amen, Aunt Missy.
There
Amen.
you go.
Look, we're gonna get into some Chiefs football. Before we do that, I'd like to hit some hot takes from last week. We had a few basketball games I'd love to highlight, and I was sad I wasn't able to be on the program last week. But I do have some highlights. So uh, Blair Oaks, the boys and girls, they both surged past Fatima last week. And so with the boys, the game went back and forth pretty much the entire game until the fourth quarter. And so it was Bryson Jeffries for the Blair Oaks Falcons had a huge block in the game. If you didn't get to see the highlight, you've got to go check it out. But he has this huge block, and that jump started a 17-2 run
Wow.
for the Blair Oaks Falcons. So they ended up cruising past Fatima, and they won 73-64. But that 17-2 was sparked by that momentum block from Bryson Jeffries. So I
Mm-hmm.
thought that was super cool. And then the girls, they actually held off Fatima. Fatima was on a tear and was coming back. It was a super thrilling fourth quarter, but the Blair Oaks girls ended up winning 50-46. And so Blair Oaks, the boys and girls, both beat Fatima, and that pushed the Lady Falcons record to 6-4. Um, Another girls basketball game I wanted to highlight was Capital City. I we've had we've had several of the Capital
Mm-hmm.
City players on here. We've had Coach Ashley Agee out on the program, and
Mm-hmm.
so they had a great victory. It was against Eldon, and they won 71-67. Shout out to Natalie Allison. She totaled 31 points last Tuesday night to lead the Capital City
Did you
Cavaliers
say
over
31 points?
31 points
Wow.
from
That's
Natalie
good.
Allison. So
That's
shout
awesome.
out to her. Yeah, fantastic game. Um, Interesting. The night before on Monday night, Capital City played O'Fallon Christian, and head coach Ashley Agee got a lot of time to watch her secondary players play that game because they ended up winning that game 74-13. So it
Oh,
was,
ow.
yeah. So it was a good opportunity, though. Head coach said for her to watch the other players come off the bench and play a lot of minutes and see how the chemistry works. And so
Mm-hmm.
but even though she saw some things that they can definitely improve upon, they did beat O'Fallon Christian 74-13, and then the next night is when they won that thrilling matchup 71-67. So
You know,
shout out to Capital City.
yeah, and I really appreciate when coaches will do that. That they don't keep racking up the score. That they take that time to be able to give playing time to some of those student athletes that are working their tails off in practice,
Yep.
and they just they feel like a part of the team when they're able to get into the game. And so a shout out to Coach Ag, and that was very very good. So awesome job, girls.
Um, and then from there, um, I just have the highlights for basketball coming up this week, and that kind of leads into another story with Blair Oaks. So I'm not sure if you want me to go into that yet or not.
No, I don't, because I want to do our next sponsor, and then we'll come back and you'll hit on that. So just a little
Perfect.
tease. We'll be right back with some up to date news. All right. All right, that is the Dairy Barn and Diesel Power Plus, Ashley and Delton Rissler. And I want to just say I appreciate them so much. Yep, you got the hat on. A little shout out to them for, again, sponsoring this program. They made a commitment to sponsor us for a year as we were getting this thing started and going. And they, were not able to continue on after this month. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for your sponsorship and making this program available to all of our different viewers. And we just appreciate you guys. And out there on Highway 87 and 50 in California, Missouri, Diesel Power Plus, and the Dairy Barn. So, once again, thank you guys. All right, Jay, you gave a little bit of a tease about Blair Oaks and there's some cool stuff happening just tonight. So get
Just
to it.
tonight. Man, you guys do not want to miss this, but I have a quick story before I start giving you all of the results. But this week are two huge tournaments for basketball in mid-Missouri. You've got the Joe Machens Great 8 Classic Tournament, and this tournament brings in schools from out of state, several of them from out of state. It's kind of a bigger deal, and so we were super excited that we were able to get it back this year because last year, due to COVID, we didn't have a lot of those out-of-state schools coming in. Well, they're back again this year, and that just means the competition is strong. The other tournament going on is the Jefferson Bank Holiday Hoops Tournament. And so there's going to be so much basketball this week. You guys have got to stay informed and look at highlights. And boy, tonight was the big game going into this tournament for the Joe Machens Grade 8 Classic. You had Blair Oaks versus Father Tolton. And what you're looking at is two teams in District 9 that are going against each other. And you've got Blair Oaks, who's ranked number 2, 1. And you've got Father Tolton, who is 6-2, and they're ranked number 4. Both of these teams have the chance to be the district champions. Both of these teams have the capabilities to make a run for the Final Four or even the championship. So the hype going into this was just surging through the roof. I want to give you a little bit of backstory on this rivalry that it just seems to happen. Coach Ryan Fick actually said it best. He says, it's turned into a really good rivalry. We haven't played each other many times, but every time we do, it just seems like something big is on the line. And I just loved the way he put that. But what really escalated this rivalry was back at the 2020 district championship game. This was in Eldon. This is when Quinn Kushchin, thank you. Quinn Kushchin drained the half-court shot. It was a buzzer beater. No time on the clock. Ball leaves his hands. He drains the half-court shot, and they win that game 58-57 in double overtime.
Yeah.
Double overtime.
We need to add to that, though, that Tolton was actually celebrating, thinking they had won the game. I mean, it was a huge celebration. People stormed the court, and then they got it back in order.
They had just hit what they thought was the game winner to go up. So they're up by 2, and it was amazing. Like Blair Oaks, you just thought they were done. There's no way. And then, Quinn hit that half-court shot. We actually wrote an article about it in Sports Locker, and that article was called Half-Court Kushchin. So, I mean, just what an awesome game for Quinn. And, I mean, it's just fun. So, the first 4 times that Blair Oaks played Father Tolton won 4 times. The next 4 times that they've played, Blair Oaks has won 4 times. So you've got these 2 schools that are sitting at 4-4, and like Ryan Fick said, every time they play each other, something important seems to be on the line. And so heading into this game was a big deal. Just to give you guys a little history of Father Tolton and who's on their team, they've got a very loaded roster this season. Mm-hmm. They've got Jevin Porter, who's a 6'9" senior. He just signed with Pepperdine. Did I say that right? Pepperdine? Yep. He just signed with Pepperdine last month. And then you also have seniors Taki Chivas and Justin Boyer, who are very consistent players. They also added Aaron Rowe, who is a 6'2" freshman. Before he even stepped into high school. Before his first day of high school, he already had offers from Division I schools for basketball.
Wow.
When I say Father Tolton has talent, Father Tolton has talent. Obviously, with Blair Oaks, shout out Luke Northweather, Quinn Kustian, both seniors. They both are combining to score 48 out of the team's 73 points per game.
Wow.
So when they've been frustrated the last few games because they keep getting, like, defenses know you've got to play hard on Luke and Quinn. And so that did give a chance for Zach Harrigan to step up. He finished with 13 points. Zach Henry, he's normally one of the first players off the bench. He actually started last game, scored 18 points. So anyways, going into this game, huge momentum. It started at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. Before we came on air, we got updated tweets. And so I was super excited. Let me find the tweet from my guy, Rod Smith. Thank you so much, Rod. He updated and tweeted, Blair Oaks won. They beat Father Tolton 59-55. That just happened. And so I am super excited. You do not want to miss the highlights. They will be on the expanded grade 8 coverage at 10 p.m. tonight. So you've got to get on there and go check out those highlights. But Blair Oaks beat Father Tolton. This was like going into this tournament, this was the game that everyone couldn't wait to see who was going to come on top. And so that's why I'm super hyped up right now. So
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I cannot wait to watch these highlights. And I'm pumped up.
And we got Melanie Porter. She's pretty pumped up too. She was able to see the game. It was an awesome game tonight, she said. So that's great.
So cool. From what I was gathering, Father Tolton led practically that entire game. It doesn't sound like Blair Oaks got into the lead until there was about 1:03 left in the game. But it says, Rod Smith tweeted, Father Tolton led most of this game. Blair Oaks is now up, 7 left, 53-49. And then they ended up winning, like I said, 59-55. So
yeah,
I'm just super excited. I mean, what an awesome game. Blair Oaks, you're showing up strong. Can't wait to see what this season turns into.
Real quick, too, I mean, Father Tolton, I mean, you're talking about those first four games that they won against Blair Oaks, and Blair Oaks has won the last four, but it's, you're talking about how many years. It seems like there's been a Porter playing for Father Tolton for the past 50 years. I mean, they've got Porters coming out of the woodwork up there.
Oh yeah. And they're tall.
And they're tall
at basketball. They're so good at basketball.
Imagine what that backyard game is like, right?
Oh man, I definitely don't want to be invited to that party.
Unless I was on their team and I just passed them the ball. Just pass the ball.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm super excited. Shout out to Blair Oaks. When I saw that before we went live, I was pretty happy.
Jay, it's almost like that. It's almost like that Porter family there in California. I mean, they keep churning out basketball players. That's awesome.
You're not wrong.
Not
wrong.
Melanie said her kids didn't inherit that game. Well, and didn't inherit that gene, but they definitely inherited the basketball gene. I can tell you that. That's awesome.
Yeah, no kidding. I love that. Beyond that, that's all I have for the local hot take sports. From there, I'm just wanting to go into a little bit of Chiefs football. How's that sound, Dad?
Go. You just go.
Go. All right. We were talking about the Kansas City Chiefs earlier, and man, what a game yesterday. I don't know if I want to call it a game or if it was just total domination, but man, Ben Roethlisberger he does not look like the Ben of old. They have already announced that he is retiring after this season. He will not be with the Steelers. I don't think he's going to keep his career going, and that's okay. Like, Big Ben did his time. He has played for a long time, but man, the Steelers cannot find any consistency. They're now sitting at 7-8-1, and the Chiefs are now sitting at.
Hold on, Ryan Olsen. Oh my goodness!
I can't even see it. What's it say?
It says Ben Worthlessburger.
Yeah. For anyone in fantasy football that was clinging to hope that Big Ben was going to help them out this year, that did not pan out too well.
I was sensing a little bit of that right there by that comment.
um, you know, the Chiefs ended up winning that game 36-10, and even that final touchdown came when Mason Rudolph stepped in as quarterback for the Steelers, and he led them down the field, and he hit Deontay Johnson on an 18-yard touchdown. Um, but man, it was not a good
You
game.
know,
It was a good game for the Chiefs. I'm telling
yep.
you,
And
I
just as this is hokey, but you know, even Rudolph wasn't going to be able to bring that Christmas present to the Steelers. Okay, there you
no, yep, that Iron Curtain is pretty soft right now.
go. That was
So here's the thing. When you talk about Chiefs football, a lot of people still have a bitter taste in their mouth from just what, two and a half
eight
months
games.
ago?
8 games ago.
2 months ago?
Yeah.
The Chiefs they were sitting at 3-4.
Mm-hmm.
Their offense looked very inconsistent. Their defense was super inconsistent. And it just, you could tell something was off. The rhythm wasn't there. I had talked with a lot of people about it. Obviously, I love talking sports. I love talking football. I said, you can just tell it looks like the Chiefs offense is just trying to do big play every
Yeah.
game. Like, the goal is we have to be fancy. It doesn't matter what we do on this drive. At any moment, we can go 80 yards and get a touchdown. And it just wasn't happening, though.
Right.
And I was like, it seemed like smart football, because there were so many times where I'm like, just get the first down. Like, you have
Yeah.
a wide open guy, but he's just airing it out 80 yards every time. And it's
Yeah.
like, you all of a sudden, I think it started clicking with them,
Mm-hmm.
though. And, shout out to Coach Andy Reid. Shout out to the defensive coach, who's I'm drawing a blank on.
Spagnola.
Spagnola, who it was like Spurgeon. I'm like, I know it's not Spurgeon. Spagnola. Shout out to him, because I mean, these coaches turn to the teams around, and I think it's the players too, getting in their minds smart football. At this point, we just need some W's. Let's play smart football.
Yeah.
Let's get first downs. Stop worrying about being fancy. You saw Mahomes' numbers come down. He was not going for 400,
No.
500 yards, 6 touchdowns. But what he started doing was getting first downs and first downs. And you started seeing a team clicking. You started seeing a defense
Mhm.
clicking. And, I mean, they have just turned out into some even the first few wins to get them out of that slump didn't look pretty. It's really been the last few weeks where you started seeing the offense come alive again and scoring high numbers. And they've been holding they're on a streak right now. Whatever it is, it's 5 home games in a row of keeping their opponents 10 points
10
or
points
under.
or fewer. Yeah.
And I mean, that hasn't been done. I think it was the Bears in like 2005 have a better streak, and then the Bears in like 88 had a better streak. I mean, other than that, you don't have they're tied third right now in history for being able to do that at a home game, keeping opponents 10
Let's just keep
points
that going
and under.
all the way through the Super Bowl. Let's just keep that going all the way through the Super Bowl.
Let's keep it going, baby.
But I have to tell you that your mother-in-law, my lovely and beautiful wife, she had made the comment, when she saw this frown on my face that was just happening pretty much every game at the start of the season. And she just said, they're going to pull out of it. They're going to have that moment. They're going to get motivated. And she reminded me of that tonight. And she reminded me after she saw my gleeful, joyful look yesterday after that game. She was just like, you look so happy right now. I was like, well, yes, I am.
I said this to you earlier. Chiefs winning football is great for seasonal depression. I'm telling you, it makes you feel good inside, and you can't help but just get excited, especially when they're playing as good as they have been.
Yeah.
With their win and the Chargers' loss to the Houston Texans, I can't even explain the sentence I just said. The Los Angeles Chargers lost to the Houston Texans. Makes no sense. But with that happening, the Chiefs have clinched the division. They are guaranteed a spot in the playoffs, which for many of us, we thought maybe playoffs weren't even going to happen this year.
Yeah.
But they've locked up the division. Now the goal, is locking up the AFC. So this is the first time between the two conferences, NFC and AFC, that the only bye week is given to the number one spot.
Mm-hmm.
So before it used to be the number one and number
And
two.
number
Well, I
two.
just got to be number two. I just
Right.
got to be number two. Then I get a bye week. Not this year.
Right.
You have to be number one to get that bye week. Only two teams in the NFL, one from AFC, one from NFC, will get a bye. So I know that's what the Chiefs are pushing for. They have a chance to do it next week, but they're going to need help.
Yeah.
If they want to lock it up next week, they have to beat the Bengals and the Titans have to lose to the Dolphins. If those two things happen, they've got it. The other options just win out the season. So I am hoping and praying the Chiefs
will.
have a very good foe next week in the Cincinnati Bengals, who just
Yeah.
did a smackdown on the Baltimore Ravens. Joe Burrow went for 500 yards,
525.
Oh,
That's
Joe
crazy.
Burrow looked amazing.
Yeah.
And so I'm telling you, next week's matchup is going to be very good. I'm as excited for this as I was for Blair Oaks tonight. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it's going to be
There's-
a good game.
There's lots of good teams that are happening right now. Speaking of the Dolphins, my good friend Mike Klutz, he's a huge Dolphins fan, and he's been going through that misery that we
Dan
went
Marino
through.
days.
He's been going through that misery that we were going through for so long with the Chiefs. But we're rooting for the fish this week, Mike. We're rooting for the fish.
You're darn right we are. I need them to win. I do.
And then,
I need the Fish to win.
And wow, the Dallas Cowboys yesterday, I mean, my goodness, they manhandled the Washington football team. I mean, that was a beatdown. That was a beatdown.
That was worse than the Chiefs versus the Steelers.
Yeah.
They put Cooper Rush in the third quarter. If you don't know who Cooper Rush is, that's the backup quarterback to Dak Prescott. The game was already so done. They put Cooper Rush in the third quarter. He ended up getting 2 more touchdowns for him too.
They could have put him. They could have put him in at halftime.
They really could have. I mean, that was just a tremendous showing from the Dallas Cowboys. The NFC looks like the Super Bowl is going to be in the NFC this year. They are some incredible teams, all of them high-powered. So whoever from the AFC, whoever ends up going to the Super Bowl, the Chiefs, they're going to have a tough opponent no matter who
Right.
it is. Because I'm telling you, the
And you
NFC
cannot count out the Buccaneers, and the Packers are looking great. But
never.
I mean, wow.
You can never count them out. So I'm really excited. We're getting into the most exciting part of football. We're in fantasy football playoffs. So I mean, this is just a really fun time.
So
to be
what
a
you're
football.
saying is, during Christmas time, it's really not the most wonderful time of the year. You're thinking it's during the playoffs of the NFL is what you're thinking. I'm kind of sensing that from you.
Merry Christmas, everyone. It was a great day. Shout out to my boy JC. What's up? Your birthday. But it's over. It's football time now, baby. Let's
over.
bring in the new year.
Lord,
Come on,
forgive him. Forgive him, for he knows not what he does.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I said shout out to my boy JC. Come on.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, hey, we've had lots of good stuff going on. A great year. I've heard people say that the last year and this year were the worst year of their lives. But when we have breath in our lungs each and every day, and we have the opportunity to live a life and make a difference in the lives of others, it's a good year. We have to make that choice to make it. So let's make 2022 far better than these past couple of years. And yes, I love you, my sister Jacqueline, and we appreciate all you guys watching us tonight. Jay, why don't you go ahead and close us out? Do that final page for the final time in 2021.
Wow. Dad, and I couldn't have said it probably any better. Kind of a sneak peek. If you read my final page articles, and you find some fun in those, and I always try to make them have some intriguing. I wrote about this past year and just some kind of highlights going through, and it just seems like during that new year you have two different types of people. You've got New Year's resolution, like I can't wait, it's going to be a new year, new me, I'm so excited. you've got the other people who are like, nothing's changed. You're still the same. Like, just New Year's resolutions, that's just stuff for people not to commit and do. And I'm always the type of guy that loves to find the balance. And the new year is definitely an opportunity to look at the past, to look at what we've been through, and to learn.
Yeah.
And, I always say, it's okay to fail. Just learn from those failures. It's okay to make mistakes. Learn from those mistakes. And I love the idea that we're going to look at 2022 and say, this is going to be a better year. And
That's
I'm
right.
going to do better things. And I'm going to help other people. So anyway, that's kind of a sneak peek into my article for the final page. But I'm telling you guys, I love the way you said that, Dad. We are going into a new era. You have breath in your lungs. You're alive when no other generation has been alive at this point in history. You still have a chance to do something.
Yep.
It's never too late. And so, anyways, just I want to acknowledge that. I'm so glad that we've been having this program every Monday night. It brings me a lot of anxiety throughout the day, like researching and trying to figure out, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to do? Kate, I don't even want to do this tonight. I don't even want to do this. Text your dad. Hang up the phone.
Kate, I got a flat
then I
tire.
go-
Come pick me up.
I got a flat tire. I just stabbed it. And then, I get on the program and I just love it. It does bring joy. I love getting to hang out with my dad, and we just love talking to you guys. So we absolutely love you guys. We love our Sports Locker Nation. We just want you guys to like our page, share it, subscribe it, comment. Melanie, you're awesome. Thank you for that. That was a great comment. We want you guys to have fun with us. If there's something you want us to talk about, tell us. We'll talk about it. If you enjoy what we're doing, just, encourage us. Tell us to keep going, and we will. We have a great time doing it, and we absolutely love bringing you guys great.
And we don't want to hear somebody if they say stop. Please stop. We don't want to hear that.
No, hey, I'll take all the criticism. If I get
Okay.
everyone to comment, I'll take it all. That's the only way we can learn, Dad. Come on.
That's right. You're right. Okay. Take those failures, learn from them. All right.
That's right. That's right. But again, we absolutely do love you guys. It does bring us joy. And so you guys have a rocking week. Bring in the new year with energy, have excitement, and just go have an awesome week. Be blessings to people in your lives and see if we can make a difference, because I think we can. Anyways, I'm your co-host, the big fluffy beard, Mr. Jay Gill. And this is One Nation and SLM Extra. We absolutely love you guys. God bless.
God bless you guys. We'll see you next week. All right. Thanks.